fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Vance. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, once and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's break down, away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo cracks under the pressure in the traction zone! My friends can round up another overtake on 1.3 frame mark. This is round 3. Timo cracks under the pressure once again!
And Timo are oh, he hits the pit! Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be gonna penalty too, so they can stand at the back together again. Just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello and welcome to another race here at Tier 3, this time at USA. I'm joined this time by Sonny. Hello Sonny.
Hello everyone.
So yeah, we had some pretty interesting races in Tier 3 so far, so let's hope we continue the streak.
Yeah, hopefully the drivers will have yet another clean race without safety cars going into turn 1. It's been a team recently. I think Tier 3 is fighting to get the Thunderdome status, but hopefully they redeem themselves today.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any major incidents, and you know, just maybe 1 or 2 safety cars to spice things up, but
maybe at the end instead of the beginning.
yeah, and at the end it would spice things up a lot because of all the penalties that you would get around here, around USA.
Yeah, I think on this track, especially in Sector 1, you need to be a bit cautious at the very beginning to not get the penalties. When the car is heavy on the fuel load, it's easy to get the understeer, so you are more likely to get the penalty. But meanwhile, as we speak, we have first set of laps, first set of times. People are settling in. We are already seeing some 30s on the board. Joel with quite a good banker, 30.9. It's not a bad banker. UMP following up, just 2 turns behind, and so let's see how much the drivers can progress from here.
Yep, it's Janis Correas as well with a 30.8. Good banker laps. In the 30s already, so what do you expect the pole will be?
I would expect it to be low 30, maybe 0.3, 0.4. Maybe someone will surprise me. I think here are some drivers that can be really fast on the 1 lap pace. We have Motocrosser, we have Matthias, we have who else do we have? We have Keyboard Magnussen, Aceboy. These are people that we have. Terror, of course. How could I forget? I mean, there are also a few drivers that can quite regularly bring surprises. So Max, I know that he can sneak in on the top. Giannis, Correas. I mean, in this tier, the top 10 can always surprise us. So if they have a good day, if they bring the pace, I mean.
Yeah, for sure. As we now see the majority of the drivers making their way into the pits after their first lap. So I think it's a good time to show the standings. As we can see in the standings, Motocrosser is still leading with a very good margin.
Yeah, and it's just important to bring up now that he has actually quite significant chances of getting closer to securing his championship, because we have only around, I think, 4 races to go, and the championship gap is almost 60 points. So he can almost make it today. He's quite close to securing it. I think he's almost guaranteed for being top 2, but it's not quite sure that he's gonna be the winner just yet.
Yeah, Matthias, who was Grosjean's, still has chances in this championship, and he is currently in pole position. So let's see what he can do in the rest of the session. Let's see what he can do in this race. And
yeah, we should follow him on one of his hot laps, I think.
Yeah,
but he's in the pit lane at the moment, unfortunately, so we cannot do that. I think we have who do we have on the lap right now? I see Aki finishing his lap in sector 3 right now. Oh, he's pitting actually, so he must have been aborting that one.
We have Futuristic on a lap. Futuristic is completing now his first lap. He may be invalidated his previous one, and he goes P6. Still in the
not bad. Now he just, it's a banker, you know, the first lap. I think in this track, the track conditions help a lot, so you really want to get the last run at the end of the session and gain the time just from the track conditions. It can be really significant.
Yeah.
So getting a solid, like not great, but solid lap in early on is also a good insurance deal in case you invalidate one of your second or third lap, and you can still probably finish on a good starting position. I see the bets in the chat. I don't know if you're tracking this, but
yeah.
Hammer with 7 DNFs, come on man, they are fighting to lose the Thunderdome status. I don't know if it's too early or too late to.
What's happening with Max? Is stopped on track. I think he's letting everyone through, but he's just completely stopped out of the way. Okay, he's moving again.
I think maybe he's not sure if the cars behind him are on a lap or not. Maybe he just wants to be safe. I think it's a safe bet. This McLaren ahead of him, I think it's not Aceboy, it's Futuristic, so he is also on the outlap. Oh, Futuristic was on his in-lap, sorry.
Yeah, Futuristic.
So yeah, Max must have just got confused there. But
So most of the drivers are starting their laps now. Who do you want to spectate for this lap? You have Janice, Koreas, Joel, Wimpy, Terror maybe. Yeah, Terror is also on the lap. Let's go for Terror as he just set the purple first sector.
okay,
at least
let's
on my
do this.
screen.
Yeah, I mean it's his first lap. He went out quite late, or maybe he invalidated his first attempt, but so we don't have delta to compare if he's actually improving or not. But looks like his pace is quite decent. He just really need to finish the lap with nice sector 3
Yeah, a little
and
bit
see
of a
where it
lockup.
puts him. Oh, and another one in the left-hander.
Yeah, really easy place to lock up there, and that's not ideal.
But knowing Terror, he will definitely set another good lap with his next attempt. And as we speak, Wimpy takes pole, but
No,
he gets
Joel.
beaten by Joel instantly with 30.4. So we are actually entering really decent times at the front. So 30.3 or 0.4 is actually a good result. I would expect this to secure him top 5.
Yeah, it's a really good time from Joel at 30.3. As we have now Matthias on a lap going down the back straight. I think he's one to watch as well, as he also locks
Yeah,
up.
definitely. I mean, these corners in Sector 2, there's a series of corners when it's so easy to lock up, and it's quite technical because you can't be sure when it's the optimal time to go on throttle, so it's easy to go too fast or too slow and lose a little bit of time. So it's nothing unusual to lock up, especially when you need to push. Oh, he went
yeah.
wide, and I think he invalidated.
Yeah, he did.
And he didn't pit. So yeah, I mean, he wouldn't improve anyway with this attempt, but I was wondering why he didn't pit after this invalidation, because it would potentially save him some time so he could set another lap.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, we were
unfortunately-
speaking, Janice Koreas also improved, just a little bit ahead. Look at the gap between Janice, Wimpy and Matthias. They are like divided by less than a tenth each one of them, so I'm expecting some fight for the front row.
Yeah, let's
the grid.
see if any of them can catch Joe and maybe get pole position if they can get into the 30.3s. I think we have. Is that?
I mean, it will be difficult to challenge Joel. As I said, people also mentioning in the chat that 30.3 is actually a really fast time, and
It is.
yeah, maybe I don't know if he got some slipstream there, or if he set that in free air. I mean, it's definitely stands out for now, 2 tenths ahead of the Janice, who is P2, so that's a significant gap. But yeah, there's still a couple of minutes to improve for the drivers.
Radim is now finishing his lap. Or he's starting a lap. No, he's starting a lap.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, and I think the Aki Palola, our reserve driver for today, still needs to set a lap, and we are running out of time, so hopefully he manages to set a time so he doesn't start at the back.
Yeah, I think he's done a lap now, but he's going into the back straight with maybe less CRS than you would expect. He's on 20 now.
Yeah, maybe he used some on his in lap. I mean out lap, and
He actually let.
he let Ferrari by.
Maybe just full. He's just full with his CRS.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't switch it off. We will have to see in a little bit if he manages to set a time or not. I think it's not his flying lap based on the timing, but who else do we have on the lap? Janice, I think, is going out on his last out lap of the session.
Yeah, I see that.
So
Was he all enough fast enough? Let's see what he can do.
yeah, Moze is up 2/10 on his time already, and Sector 3 is definitely somewhere can gain a lot of time or lose a lot of time. Goes a little bit wide on the right-hander, but no locks up here, and I think from here on out, from this slow left-hander, it's way easier to finish the lap. Just needs to avoid going out. And Radim actually leaving the session or retiring. Oh, he's in the pits, so might be disconnect. I'm not sure. We'll get back to that in a second.
Mozzie goes P11 with a 31.5 right behind him. Janice Korea starting his lap. I believe it will be his final lap. He has time for more. So let's see. Yes, it's first, second. He's up 1/10 on his time in the first sector, so looks to be a good lap. I mean, he would need to be up by 3/10 to even challenge Joel. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, looks like a good exit to me so far. I mean, he needs to gain over 2/10 to even improve, or like at this point for Janice, I think any time gained is good because you really need to run away from Wimpy and Matthias. He's up 2/10, so actually he's on pace for pole. Let's see if he can make it. This is probably the most difficult corner of the track, and he nails it. So far so good. I think he just needs to bring it home. I think he can secure pole. I mean provisional pole for now.
Yep.
But let's see if he manages to make the left-hander doesn't go wide. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a pole for now. Let's see. And the last corner is also really good. And oh, not just quite. I think he lost some time there. I don't know where, but it looked good. I mean, I couldn't spot the. It didn't look like he messed up, but it looked like he did everything correctly and still lost 2/10 in sector 3. Joel is on the outlap, so Wimpy is on an outlap, Matthias is on an outlap, so I think we'll see probably some changes at the front because a lot of drivers are going out to complete the final laps right.
Yeah, Janice was one of the earliest to do his final lap. Joel is the next one to start his lap, so let's go on board with Joel.
Yeah, I agree with the chat. I think Joel should come back to tier 2 and just take out the sandbags from his car.
Joel goes really wide in one of those S's and he's down 3. He's down 300s, but Wimpy. Oh no, maybe that's. Wimpy showed up 4/10, but I don't think that's correct.
Oh, to me it shows that Wimpy is down by a 10, so we'll have to see. We have Joel. I think Joel is first to finish his lap. Then we have Wimpy, and then we have Matthias behind him. So.
Yep, as the time is over. Keyboard Magnussen.
Joel is up at 10th. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
he's about to improve still. Wimpy is still down on his time, and Matthias is improving by a 10th. So for now, I think Matthias might jump Wimpy, but I think Joel, if he brings it home, he will have the lap secured. Nails the left-hander a little bit wide, but saves it. I don't know how the delta will look like based on that, but the last corner also fine. Straightens out the car. Oh, does not improve, so this left-hander actually made him lose some time, but still pole for now. Wimpy does not improve, and Matthias taking the last corner. He's up to 10th. Is it enough to jump Janice? Let's see.
It is.
Yeah, it is by a little, just a small margin, but it's enough to secure the front row for Matthias on the inside. So Futuristic on a lap, let's see. He is down at 10th in Sector 2, but as we saw these last two corners, they are not guaranteed for the drivers. You can still lose some time. Let's see how the Futuristics finishes. He's improving by a 10th, so he actually jumped ahead of Wimpy.
Yeah, good luck.
So
Good luck from him.
quite a good improvement. And I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
that's
think we have anybody else on the lap. That's it for the qualifying session. Joel with an amazing 4.3, 2 tenths ahead of second place Matthias. And
yeah. I mean, maybe just to summarize this quali, we saw a lot of drivers going into Sector 3 with quite a big gain on the delta, but they didn't manage to stick it in Sector 3 to bring it home. Grula, as we speak, I'm receiving requests to maybe turn up your mic volume on the stream because I'm hearing some complaints.
mic volume, okay.
Yeah, just give it a try. I think it's a good moment to adjust our settings as we wait for the drivers to line up on the grids and complete the formation lap. But as we stand, the qualifying, Joel in P1, Matthias P2, Giannis P3, and that's your top 3 starting positions, followed up by Futuristic, Wimpy, Max, George, Diadiotis, and Motocrosser, the championship leader, actually back in P9. So, I mean, it's looking good for Matthias because he can actually extend his championship hopes onto the next 3 races, so it's not lost for him yet. Oh, and actually I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's
I was
full
not
wet.
reading a Discord, so we have wet conditions on our hands. I don't know if it's gonna dry up later in the race.
I think that's wets, right? That's not even intermediates. I think it's raining so much. It must be wet.
I mean, I would say it depends on the conditions.
Please let me know if my mic gets better. I don't think I couldn't up the volume, so
Oh yeah,
I'll just have to talk a little bit louder.
we have definitely some moist conditions on the track, and I'm getting feedback from the drivers that we are starting in the heavy rain, but the conditions should improve to inter conditions, so we will have probably drivers looking to find the perfect timing to for the pit stop. So you would really look forward to extend this wet stint and make sure that you pit for the perfect timing on the switch off when the inters become the better tire.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we are still waiting for a couple of drivers to load. I see Max is just leaving the session. I've sent him the invite to get him back in the lobby. Hopefully he manages to get back in so we can race with him.
Well, the timer has run out, so we're going in no matter what.
Unlucky. Hope he comes back into the lobby quite soon. He's back. Since he's starting in P6, but hopefully he won't have any bugs from the game, because unfortunately with the Codemasters games we need to be aware that sometimes you can have a cold tires when you reconnect during the formation lap. Hopefully it won't be the case here. It doesn't.
I've never had that, but I've heard it's quite annoying.
Yeah, I mean, in the wet conditions, maybe, I don't know if it will be as bad, but we'll have to look if he starts dropping positions in the race or if he won't. So something to look out for. And I think, what do you think about the moist conditions in going into turn 1 and the S's? Do you think the drivers will take extra caution to avoid crashing out, or do you think we'll have a repeat?
Yeah, it's definitely really moist. I think it will be challenging for the drivers to go around sector 1 for the first time, especially when they are all close together. Hopefully we don't have any big incidents. I'm expecting to see 2 or 3 drivers to go wide in turn 1. That's usually what
Oh, yeah,
happens even in
definitely.
dry conditions.
Hopefully the goggle of the cars in turn won't cause any issues, and not the drivers will think that it's Gammon Run. I mean, it's
Yeah.
tier 3 race. So, and yeah, I did dedicate this intro to Ocean Chief.
Yeah, nice choice. Worth it.
Chat, I think I just completed some challenge that's between me and him, but back to the race. And yeah, we see drivers finishing to warm up their tires a little bit, and yeah, let's see how they kick off.
Keep an eye on.
You wanna take it away, Gurla?
Okay, so we should keep an eye on Joel's start, as he has Matthias right behind him. Matthias will start on the outside, and we'll try to brake later, of course, and go around the outside of Joel. But yeah, keep an eye also on the guys behind. See what everyone is doing. Motocross is looking for a good start, maybe to close up the gap he has to Matthias right now, so he can keep the lead. Let me find a good camera.
Yeah, I'm also struggling with some camera angles because I'm getting nose camera everywhere for some reason.
Yeah, Max should get a jump start because he's a ghosted car, so...
Okay, there we go. And
Lights,
go ahead,
5
Gurla.
lights are out, and away we go, and I think Joel gets a good enough start. Max was in pole position, I don't know why, but Joel gets a good start and he's going around the outside and Joel into first. There's a house of Jonas Correa's going for second place right now. Someone's off, it's George going really wide there. We have Matthias down into fourth, Futuristic right behind him. Wimpy lost a couple of positions, I think down into sixth, but all clean, no incidents right now. Actually there's a yellow flag, but I don't see anyone else. There's a Ferrari actually. I think that was Matthias, or maybe Max. I think Max had some connection issues or something.
Yeah, I think it was desync with Max because he was disconnected.
Wimpy's on the grass. I didn't
Oh,
see
no.
what happened to him, but he was on the grass. Hopefully no damage.
He went wide. Let's see. I mean, hopefully he doesn't have to pit. Maybe he's still in the race. I mean, it will be difficult to overtake in these conditions. It looks like his his front wing is still intact, so he has some catching up to do, but definitely not out of this race yet. It just got really difficult for him, but I'm quite sure we'll hear about him again in just few laps. But back to the front, I think Joel secures his first position. He manages to maintain it and actually pulling a gap. We see some yellow flags behind. Who is it? Is it Radim?
Yeah.
He also has some incident and he's getting damaged.
Aki Pola also off.
And Mossy also involved in some collision with Aki, and we have safety car out yet again on the first lap.
Oh god, I saw Aki Pola spin into the wall. I didn't see if he had any contact. And Mossy with the first penalty of this race.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the drivers decide to adjust their strategies. I think I wouldn't expect anyone without the damage to pit here. I think Aki will probably pit. I'm seeing Radim entering the pit lane, and Wimpy stays out, which means probably it should just confirm that there is no damage involved.
Yeah, but Terra is in the pits. Terra has a change of
Oh,
wings,
we have Terror and XTXP pitting as well, so we have a couple of more drivers involved.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing some issues on the results screen because I think everything is adjusting right now, because I just saw Matthias in P18, so
yeah,
I think you just need to...
Okay, Bob leaves the race. No, it's really confusing.
We need to let it reset a little bit. But I think Joel is actually in the lead right now, and I think if we finish a lap or two... Oh, Matthias almost hits Janice from behind. Has to go off track a little bit to avoid the contact. I know. I think the drivers should be really cautious like that right now. And as I say that, Darrow gets a 5-second penalty for collision with Kebab.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened there.
And that means Kebab also got a penalty for a collision.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this early into the race, they will have to pit and probably serve it. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's safety car conditions. Drivers should be more cautious.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can actually serve those time penalties during the safety cars. I think that's the best thing they should do. Which is pit
I mean,
right now.
yeah, I think it wouldn't be bad idea if the safety car is not in right now. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to pit right away to serve the penalty, just to get rid of it, and you wouldn't be losing out on too much of the positions. So of course you would be at the back, but I don't think it would be as difficult as while pitting without the safety car later on. And there's Radim. Actually, it looked like he crashed out, but I thought he's off track for a second, but all good. I was worried for just a little bit. Okay, so safety car is staying out for another lap.
I'm saying in chat that my mic is still really quiet. Could if I was to lower the game volume, maybe would that help? Or do you think it's just my mic? Or should I just be louder?
You should
It's
scream.
Oh, is it good now? I didn't do anything, so
Jensen is also saying that I'm too loud. Okay, so actually, meanwhile you fix the settings. As I was saying, Darrow decided to pit, and he served his penalty under the safety car, so he will lose on a couple of positions, but he needs to catch up to everyone else, and if he manages to do it, I think he will get away with it.
yeah. And looking at Motocrosser, had a good start. It's up into P6. Actually, let's take a look at the what is it? The position change. So Keyboard Magnussen with a 6th position gain. He started actually behind Motocrosser, so he's the one with the best start. Oh no, he's not. It's going with the 7th position gain. And then we have of course Wimpy, who lost 10 positions due to that spin that we don't know if it was caused by some contact or on himself.
I'm getting some complaints about my mic. Come on guys, be nice to your commentators. We are trying our best.
So
It's moist outside. I mean, it's easy to sneeze here and there. But yeah, we are preparing for the restart right now. Let's hype it up. Hopefully no more crashes this one. I mean, the drivers should already get a feel of the track conditions and adjust their driving styles, so maybe this time around it won't be as tragic as it was on the first lap. And Motocrosser disconnecting just before the restart.
yes, maybe we should try to get him in. As
Yeah.
we go green, Joel gets a good start. But on the back, I think there's some people trying to overtake. Keyboard Magnussen is going for a dive on Matthias, and Futuristic is really slow. Matthias now trying to go around the outside. Now he's side by side with Keyboard Magnussen, and Keyboard is actually ahead. Matthias is almost spinning. Jesus, that was close. Motocrosser joined, and Futuristic got a time penalty. Yes, Matthias still trying to go past Keyboard.
Yeah, so it's quite early to pick up the penalty. With 4 laps in, he will need to be more cautious later on. But let's see from now on. Yeah, and I think Joel had a good restart because he's leading already with a large margin, as everyone is already mentioning in the chat.
Yeah, I don't
So,
have the timings, but
yeah, but you can just see clearly on the map how much he's pulling away. He's deploying a lot of DRS. I mean, at this point in the wet conditions, you can rely on the battery on the straights much more, because on the braking you
Ooh, as we have
recharge.
Bowman locking up and trying to go around the outside of the Diotis, but didn't manage to do it. The Diotis braking later, now going for a dive on Tilde. The motocross is still disconnected. The Diotis goes trying to go around the outside of Tilde, is lagging a little bit.
And Dadiotis goes quite wide actually, and I think Tilde secures the position, and he will probably overtake Motocrosser, who is his car is probably driven by AI for now.
I think,
So 2 positions gained by Tilde.
yeah, that Diotis is now losing places. Now his Kebab was right behind him.
And we see Motocrosser back in, so hopefully he will be able to recover. Joel sets the fastest lap.
The Ferrari of Max goes for a dive. He's a bit of chaos now. He's going side by side with Kebab. Kebab trying to go around the outside, braking into turn 1. Kebab locks up a little bit, and he goes around the outside, but Max sees the blind ERS now. He's got a great exit, and Max is ahead into the S's, so nothing you can do.
Yeah,
there.
no side by side in the wet through the S's, so
Yeah.
one of the drivers has to yield there. And as you were speaking, we actually had Mossy getting involved in some incident, and he had to pit after the safety car, so yet again some catching up to do. Let's see.
We have now Matthias really close to Keyboard Magnussen, and now that I'm looking at it, we didn't see, but Motocross has had some kind of incident as well. He's down to P11, and Matthias trying to get past Keyboard Magnussen, who defends the inside. Matthias brakes later, locks up a little bit, but keeps it on track. Keyboard now squeezing him a little bit, and Keyboard stays ahead. It's not this time for Matthias.
Yeah, the keyboard, as we all know, he can be quite good on the defending, and it's really difficult to overtake even the slower cars that you are pretty sure that you can go faster, but in these conditions it can be very difficult to overtake. And in the back we see Kebab fighting Terror, losing some position in sector 3. Terror trying to get back into the race after having to pit early on. And we continue to see Max and Motocrosser battling, and actually I think Max gave this position back, or maybe he had bad exit.
He's sliding across the last
And
corner.
Dadiot is actually pitting. I don't know, I didn't quite see what happened there. So we have already few drivers struggling a little bit to keep it on track.
So they're going around the outside of Max. He gets it done in turn 1.
So he's actually charging through the field after having to pit early on. He's recovering quite well from that. Hopefully he can catch up XTXP and Motocrosser. They don't seem to be far away. And there we go, we have the deltas working back up again, and as I can already see, I see Aceboy quite close to Keyboard, but not close enough, or maybe he goes up on his inside, goes almost alongside onto the straight. He just needs to have a good exit, which unfortunately he doesn't, but maybe with the slipstream he manages to late brake into the corner. I think being on the inside helps quite a lot. Keyboard so late on the brakes, but Aceboy takes the inside, and can he make it on the exit? Keyboard is still fighting actually, pulling ahead, going wide, so he's closing the door, but Aceboy going for a switchback, and I think Keyboard keeps this position. What's a defense from him, but let's see, sector 3, the fast right-hander. I don't know how you take that corner in wet conditions, but they are still fighting. Oh, yet again Mozzie in the back. I see yellow flags, but I don't know, maybe there's still some safety cars, so he should keep his head down. I see Aceboy still trying again to move on Keyboard, goes on the inside again, and let's see if he manages to pull it on the straight. He has way better exit, and he's gonna almost make it stick. He just needs to nail the braking. Yeah, he overtakes him even before the turn 1. So in the end, Aceboy is pulling ahead of Keyboard, and maybe he needs to pull a gap to...
Hold up, Matthias pits for intermediate tires, and along with a couple others. So
Oh,
Maybe it's time
okay.
for inters. Maybe it's not so moist anymore.
I mean, it's up to the drivers at this point to judge when to pit. I think we need to look at the leaders as well here. Oh, someone is out. I think it's Max.
Oh yeah.
He had an issue in the assist, so he's still on wets. I don't know if it had to do something with the tires or the conditions, or if he was fighting someone. I mean, he's struggling right now. And Janice is getting close to Joel, so we have a fight for the lead. Not quite enough to overtake. I'm wondering if any of those two will pit now, or if they will decide to extend their stints. We've been told that the conditions will improve, but Joel was leading by over a second now, so he must be struggling. I think maybe this is the conditions on the track that he is not feeling it. I mean, I'm looking forward to see if they pit or if they decide to slow down. I'm looking at the gap between Matthias and Aki, and I see Matthias actually gaining quite a lot on Aki, actually almost hits his back, so I think Inters are way better right now.
Yeah, Matthias seems to...
And as I said that Joel pits, Janice as well, Futuristic follows, so we have a lot of drivers pitting. Aceboy decides to stay out, so I think it might be a mistake. Oh, and as I say that, he sets the fastest lap with the wet tires, so maybe we will need to follow Aceboy to see if he made the right call. Bomon also decides to stay out, so we have only two drivers staying out on wets. Bomon is almost out of the battery.
Aki Polo losing 2 positions to those intermediate runners on the last corner. Joel lives at pits and he's still ahead, but Futuristic jumped Janice Correas.
Yes, so maybe some slowing down, blocking in the pit lane, so I don't know if it was overtake on track or in the pits, but we can see that Joel is catching up to Bomon quite quickly, so we can see that Inters are better tires, but he is doing very risky move on the insides, barely keeping it alive on the track, so getting slowed down by the Bomon, maybe losing some time, but Futuristic now also needs to go past him. Is not close enough to dive. Bomon gives him some space, he cuts the corner, hopefully no warning here, and yeah, I think Joel managed to pull the gap yet again by doing a risky overtake on Bomon, and he's back in the lead with 1.5 gap, and I don't think Aceboy is pulling away from here by staying out, so the conditions are definitely improving.
And Bowman also lets Janice through. No, Janice.
Yeah, I think Bomon is struggling, and I think he's regretting staying out on wets right now.
Yeah.
We have just a couple of wet runners left. Mossy still didn't pit, Aki, and I think Bomon and Aceboy will. Yeah, Aceboy, as I said, that definitely jumps back into the pit lane. He was before when he stayed out on track, and now I think he will be at the back of top 10 probably by looking at the gap, so I'm wondering where he gets out, but he's definitely losing out on a couple of positions here. Daddy Otis sets the fastest lap, so definitely has some pace. The drivers are improving.
And the last wet runner's final pit, except from Ozzy, we keep them. So Crossroads joined the session again. Terror is P11 trying to overtake XTXB, and then George trying to make up for those lost positions.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention that the motocrosser struggling with the connection, it only benefits Matthias, because as of now Matthias is in P4 and motocrosser is out of the points, so there are still some chances. I think Matthias should be happy with that. I mean, it's not the way you want to win, but I think you have to take it. We see some penalties again. And Joel, we don't see the gaps right now.
Futuristic is cutting some grass.
Oh, Futuristic goes wide, but Janice overtakes him, so he loses out on one position. And Matthias on the outside, so he wants to also take advantage of Futuristic making one very tiny mistake. And Futuristic losing out on 2 positions. I mean, he has. Oh, Dadiotis is on his inside, but I don't think you can go there in the wets, and I think it's too risky.
Yes, I don't know what was Futuristic doing. In the middle of the straight, he was all the way to the right in the grass. So.
And Joel sets the fastest lap, and it looks like he's still extending his lead, so he's rapid today.
If he doesn't make any mistakes.
Okay. I'm getting some feedback on my mic. I will try to adjust that, guys. I'm literally screaming.
Something happened to Kebab. He's in the wall in sector 3. Kebab, and there's a safety car, so if you wanna do something to your microphone, you should do that now.
I'm trying right now.
Is it too loud? Maybe I can lower your microphone a little bit.
No, I think it's too quiet, so maybe you can increase it on Discord. Yeah, I mean, according to feedback
I think
from the chat.
I cannot increase it anymore.
Yeah, I tried to adjust it on my end, so let us know, guys.
Oh, that was close. It was just a blur as I joined the session again. The sky was clear. But yeah, to rain.
Yeah, I thought so too. That, I mean, the condition might still improve. We were initially expecting to have a half of the race on the wet tires, and just a few laps in, people decided to change for inters. And I think it does not benefit Joel, because he had a huge lead actually, and now the lead is gone, so he needs to pull again. I think he had 2 seconds advantage, so it was quite a safe margin, but now he will needs to do yet another restart.
Yep. Let's see if he can manage to have a good restart as Futuristic collides with Dadiotis, or Dadiotis collides with Futuristic. What it matters is that they both get a 5-second time penalty, so they won't be too happy about that. Mike's still quiet.
I'm sorry, Ian. I tried to increase the volume on my end. I'm using some software to boost the volume of the mic, but Gorilla did as well. So
Yeah,
maybe just try to lower the in-game volume.
yeah, I can try to do that if you. Please tell us if it's better now compared to the game.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, so apparently I'm very loud, guys, and you are quiet, Gorilla. So maybe Neon took us for the mistake. So I will go
Better
back
now?
and.
Sunny is loud, Sunny is very loud. Oh god.
We are getting trolled by the chat. I'm trying to follow as I adjust the settings on my end.
How is my mic now? Is it better with the game volume down, or is it still quiet? Put Sunny lower and it's good.
Okay. How about me? Guys? I changed some settings.
Okay, now apparently I'm fine. How about Sunny?
1, 2, 3. Let's test this. We have still some time.
Yeah, it's
So
so at least.
Okay, perfect. The mic fixing break,
Okay,
sponsored by the safety
Yeah,
car.
you came up for that.
Oh, Dadiotis spins under safety car, and
Where
he's
is he?
losing a lot of positions. He needs to rejoin the track, and he needs to do it safely. And yeah, I think he almost crashed into Terror, so that was quite a dangerous rejoin.
Yeah, not.
I mean, unfortunate for him.
And he's down to P13, so that promotes Ace Boy, who was.
Oh, I see some connection issues with Joel, because I see them switching up the positions.
Dadiotis. Oh, he pits. Okay.
I don't know what happened to him there.
I don't know what is Mozzie doing, but he's still in front of the safety car, or is he?
I think Mozzie was lapped, so
Oh, so he's
he
unlapping
had to
himself
quit.
now.
I mean, he wasn't lapped. He was almost lapped, so he actually needs to push. I mean, he has plenty of penalties. Maybe he's not feeling the wet conditions, but if he has opportunity to get back into the race, he has to do it now because he won't get a better chance to catch up to everyone else.
Yep, as we're just waiting for Mozzie to join the field. He has a long way to go still, so.
If the safety car goes in this lap, I don't think he will have enough time.
Yeah, no, I think this is the last lap of safety car.
Yeah, I think we'll see the restart going on right now. The Joel will have to... Oh, actually, Joel almost crashing into the safety car.
Yeah, so no, he was a little bit slidey.
Yeah, but I think with the second safety car, the drivers with penalties, so Futuristic, Daro, Aki, I think they will struggle even more with the penalties.
Futuristic has actually a lot of penalties. Futuristic has 11 seconds. I think he had... Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he had... No, that's not possible, so...
He has 2 3-second penalties and 1 5-second
Yeah.
for this crash under the safety car.
Because he collided with...
However, I'm pretty sure if the conditions stay as they are, he might get this 5-second removed. So he's not out of the woods just yet.
If it is his fault, of course.
Yeah, of course, but maybe with this 5 seconds removed, he will still able to score some points today. And Motocrosser again struggling with connection, so it doesn't help him with the championship fight.
Yeah.
He needs any points that he could, even 1 point for him could be helpful at this point to feel safe for the last few races.
Yeah, Motocrosser is having some connection issues lately. In the last.
And we are
race.
going actually yet another lap, so.
Oh yeah. As Joel almost overtakes the safety car.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably getting impatient. The safety car is, I think, could be waiting for Mozzie to join. To join the pack. I'm not quite sure. If it goes for another lap, can we make bets in the chat? Do you guys think safety car in this lap or another one?
Well, I don't think it's going for another lap.
The only issue with safety cars is in the dry they can be exciting, but in the wet it's a curse for the commentators. We need to talk about everything going on.
Well, we could also spectate
because
see him doing
oh yeah,
fast laps around the
let's do
circuit.
that. Yeah, because he's actually pushing, so you could say that he's on doing hot laps right now. So let's cheer up Mozzie so he can join the rest of the grid quite quickly. He actually has a nice pace. He's improving on his previous fastest lap times, so good job, Mozzie. So Mozzie in the sector 1, he goes a bit wide just before the S's, but keeps the full throttle in. Left S, right S, and another one. Oh, almost cuts the corner, but manages to keep it on track, quite smooth on the throttle. And he is actually gaining on his delta, so Mozzie... manages to save it. What a save, Mozzie.
As we have safety car in this lap.
So yeah, as he's doing best, we have safety car in this lap. So Tipsy Bob, the first and only one to predict that. Oh, I'm sorry, Dragon was before him. Yeah, I think with the cars slowing down, waiting for the safety car to get in, it might be just in time for Mozzie to get back into the race, and I think he manages to get few laps in free air to get a feel of the conditions.
Yeah, he's not in the back of the field yet, but he will be close, as the drivers are Really
Yeah,
close
but let's
together.
focus on the front of the grid right now because safety car is in the pits already and Joel is starting the lap.
And Joe is
Oh,
going.
Janice spins a little bit, so he was already losing time to Joel, so Joel yet again with the gap right away. Perfect restart from him, but let's see if Matthias will try to go for the move on Janice. He goes on the outside, but Janice manages to defend. Will Futuristic take advantage of it? He goes side by side with Matthias into the S's, but one of them has to yield, and Matthias stays in P3.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Joe.
Oh, Joel picks the penalty, so he needs to get the gap together again, and he needs to do it with up to 3 seconds. So let's see if he will manage to maintain his pace that he was showing so far. Matthias is getting dangerously close to Janice, so we have a really tight battle, and I think this battle is actually beneficial to Joel because he is already almost 3 seconds ahead. Matthias going for the move on the outside, he goes a little bit wide, so he loses out on traction when he's on the curb, but he's trying to catch any slipstream that he might get from the car ahead. Futuristic right behind him, so will we see a free wide? Aceboy is also there, so some moving in the braking zone, but manages to make it clear. Yeah, I think Matthias on the outside yet again, and Futuristic is trying to take advantage of it. But so far everyone is driving clean, which is good, nice to see. And Matthias is trying to attack, but he has to defend at the same time. And I think he's doing quite a good job of defending, but maybe he should take his chances in a better places on track. Joel is already pulled away from this 3 second gap, so for now he's safe.
It's an AlphaTauri, it's Darrow. Darrow.
Oh, it's Darrow.
I think he hit the wall. He has no front wing. Or no, he
Oh,
has.
on my screen he
No,
has.
he has, but
So maybe it's someone else's
Yeah,
front wing that is
there's one
missing.
more
And we
black
have
color.
another safety car. And we have another safety car, and we have Max with collision with Akipola. So we'll have to keep track on who's pitting.
Max
but
is pitting. The Diotis is also pitting.
I think Joel won't like this restart because
Oh no.
what this restart gave to him is a penalty, and he is losing the gap that he managed to pull. So yeah, I think Joel will not be happy with that one.
Yeah, I saw a lot
Should-
of wing flying there in the end.
So it was Max in Tadiotis who pitted, and I think Dara stayed out.
I think Darrow had no damage,
so-
but I saw a bit of front wing just near his car, so I assumed it was his, but apparently it wasn't.
I mean, if Mossy, with all of the penalties he has, guys, if he still scores some points today, I think I can safely give him driver of the day. And as we speak,
Yeah.
Darrow gets a drive-through for speeding.
And whoa,
Uh,
did a lot of drivers get a penalty? Yeah, Max.
and Max
Darrow.
also gets the drive-through. So maybe the drivers that pitted, they were caught off guard when going out of the pits. Oh, that's quite a surprise. Oh, Futuristic also, it's important to bring up that either with his 611 another safety car is also not good for him, because with grid being so close, with like 12 laps to go,
Yeah, we have still half
he
of
might
the race
struggle.
though. We have still.
Say again?
We have still like almost half of the race to go, so it's still.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that in the wets it might not be as easy to pull the gap. Let's see if he manages to stay in the points. Oh, George and Terror pitting. I don't know if if it has something to do with the conditions or
It's raining actually. Now that I'm.
But will we see them? Oh, drivers! They're going on the fresh, slick tires, and we see a double stack from Mercedes. So Wimpy is behind for Terror, and yeah, I didn't even notice that it started raining. And maybe because the race is getting extended, this is the third safety car that we had this race. So the track manages to dry up. From the spectator's point of view, I don't, of course, have the feel of the car, but it looks like it might be too early for the dries. I think people who went on softs might struggle first few laps.
Yeah, I saw Ter getting out of the pit lane and spinning his tires, getting a lot of
Yeah.
wheel spin out of the pits out of turn 1 as well.
I'm spectating George right now, who's on mediums, and Terror on softs. They look like they are managing it. I mean, it's safety. They are not pushing. I mean, it's safety car conditions, but
Yeah, in this case, I think.
oh yeah, it's look at the Terror. He has such difficulty braking here. But I think if he went on softs, it's gonna be difficult to bring them to the end. We still have a couple of laps behind the safety car, but I'm interested to see if it will be good or a bad call.
Yeah, I think they just need to stay alive and not spin while the track drains up or dries up. So then everyone else will have to pit and they will make the time back.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the drivers ahead, Joel, Giannis, Matthias, if they will still be in the lead when they pit for slick tires. And I'm also wondering if we see a change of conditions, how the drivers will adjust it with the setups. Will they change something with the front wing, or even if they prepared before the race? And as we speak, we see Giannis pitting for slicks.
Matthias is,
And
no, is it futuristic as well pitting?
yeah, Futuristics does the same. So maybe they feel that we are at the breakthrough and the slicks might be better right now.
The thing is now Giannis futuristic lost the position to Ter and George and Wimpy.
Yeah, I think.
Wimpy.
Yeah, I think if you were to pit for slicks, you had to do it earlier. I think on a race like that, with conditions changing so much, you really want to have a crew chief on board with you. To me, it still looks way too early for dries just by looking at the track conditions, but I mean, we still have safety car out, so everything might change in just a few laps. And Max retires.
Max retires in the pits.
In the pits, so
maybe he wasn't liking the softs too much.
Yeah, I see mentions in the chat that 12 laps on soft is doable. I think so, especially with 1 or 2 laps under the safety car. So I think they can bring it to the end safely without any punctures. Oh, actually, I think Max wanted to serve the drive-thru maybe, and that's why he retired, because he still needed to do that. I see Crystals mentioning that in the chat. Good observation.
As George collides with Darrow.
Oh, yet another collision under the safety car. I know that the conditions are changing and can be unpredictable, but it is very important right now to keep your front wing out of trouble.
Yeah, and during safety car, you cannot even give the slightest tap to another driver, you'll get an instant 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, and as I look at the track, do you think it's getting better? I think so. We see less and less water and the conditions being less moist, I see.
Yeah, I mean, looking from Ace Boy's perspective, there's still a lot of spray coming out. Oh no!
Oh, and Matthias gets taken out by Ace Boy. Just at the restart,
A lot of
so
people get a 5-second for a collision. Now Joel is so much ahead. And Ace Boy has damage.
I think Ace Boy, yeah, so that's quite good for Joel. Unfortunate for Matthias, who went out and he has Keyboard ahead of him, and I think Keyboard, known for his good defending, he won't give this position back easily. So Joel should be really happy with that. But I didn't quite see what happened there between Ace Boy and Matthias. That wasn't the best restart for them. They both got 5 seconds for that.
Yeah, I think Joel slowed down and Ace Boy behind Matthias just didn't slow down enough and went into the back of him. Now
Yeah.
Polo going through the disconnected car of Motocrosser, and at the back we have
Hold on, we see Dadiot
Yep.
is doing a big dive. Maybe he will make 2 positions in one corner. Yes, he does. He overtakes Motocrosser and Darrow. I'm looking back at Terror and the slick runners at the back, and it looks like the slick tires are still a bit slower compared to the wets, I mean to the inters. So, but I think that the pit gap is just about any second. This or next lap we will see race leader come in, because the track conditions are improving rapidly. So I think I think they should consider pitting even now, or maybe next lap, because Terror, as I look at the delta, Terror is still losing time to Motocrosser.
yeah.
So Joel decides to stay out, and I think rightfully so. I think next or the lap after that he should be really considering pitting.
As with that penalty, Ace Boy has makes Joel's win a little bit safer.
Oh, Keyboard dives on Aceboy actually. Ace Boy understeers because I think he might have some damage, but stays out ahead for now. Keyboard is deploying a lot, goes on the outside and through the S's. They are going side by side, and Aceboy backs out from that, so Keyboard makes the move sticks, and I think Aceboy just wants to bring it home after the previous incident. He wants to avoid any crashes, and all of this battling just benefits Joel because he's 5 seconds ahead now. So he will be happy with that, and meanwhile Aceboy is struggling because Matthias is now catching up to him.
Yeah, Ace Boy has damage from that collision he had with Matthias, so Matthias won't be too happy about it. Let's see if he can overtake him now. And as we can see, there's a big gap forming from Terror to the rest of the Inter's drivers. So maybe
Yeah, and I think we are at the crossover because Terror is stabilizing the gap, and now he's actually closing up. He is getting almost a second on, or half a second on his delta through the hairpin.
yeah, but that's to
So-
Motocrosser who is disconnected.
Oh yeah, alright, fair enough. Motocrosser is getting driven by AI, but if I look at Joel or any other driver, the track seems dry now, so we will see almost everyone pitting.
And Joel, I think he
Okay,
has...
let's see Joel what he will do. But he has quite a nice gap to the cars behind him. Yes, indeed he pits
He has
with 6-second gap to Keyboard. What will Keyboard do? He also pits. So we'll have a lot of stuff going on in the pit stop, because even if you were ahead, you might get held up. And we have DRS enabled.
Yep, Joel had a 23-second lead to Terror.
Okay, let's see where Terror comes out actually. It might be interesting to see if he slots into some leading positions.
P2?
Yeah, I think. Oh, look at that! It's the tire difference. He has only 3 laps difference on the tires. He did 2 of those under the safety car. So such an amazing call from Terror. Oh my God, he's really pulling it. And if he manages to maybe even catch up to Joel, if he brings the pace, maybe he still has the chances to win this, because Joel has 3-second penalty. Keep that in mind. So we are up for the exciting finish. If Terror wins this, I mean, kudos to him.
Yeah, well...
If you look at the standings, we are having a complete shift because Aceboy is in P15. I think he had to serve the penalty from the earlier.
Yeah, and he changed his wing as well.
Yeah, Matthias is in P12. So the front runners with the penalties, they are losing a lot of on this changing conditions. Keyboard in P6, or maybe in net P4, because Dadiotis and Aki are still on Inters, but yeah, I think the gap between Joel and Terror is something to look out for.
Yeah, Joel has 3 laps younger soft tires. I think that makes a little bit of an advantage to Joel. So,
Yeah, but keep in mind that Terror did 2 laps under the safety car. So these tires the difference is not as big as it may seem. So did Giannis. So I think the tire difference is not as significant, but let's see what the gap is right now after they clear out the people who still didn't pit. So it's 3.4, so 3.5. He definitely needs to push, and I think it's a scenario. Which scenario was it? Scenario 6, scenario 7? I mean, for Terror, it's scenario 9000, I think.
Giannis is catching. Terror made some kind of mistake. Giannis Perez is catching a lot to him in the S's.
Oh, but if you look at it, Terror saved up quite a lot of ERS, and he just started deploying, maybe to run away from Giannis. But Giannis will have DRS now, so he might want to go for the move, and Terror is actually losing out to Joel, so I think maybe we underestimated Joel because we've seen how rapid he is today, and even with the penalty he still might want to secure his lead.
Yeah, I think.
And Matthias is fighting back actually. He was in P12 and now P9, going for the move on the Wimpy on the outside. Wimpy is on mediums, so Matthias is trying to take advantage of the soft tires. They go side by side by another series of corners, some contact there, and Matthias backs out.
Yeah, now he has futuristic diving down the inside, but not diving too much, and Matthias gets away with P9.
Yeah, and Joel is pumping the fastest lap back and forth, so he's running away from Terror.
Yeah, Terror is
hopefully he manages to keep it up. Yeah, and Terror is under attack from Giannis, so
ooh, big dive.
Giannis goes on the inside of turn 1, it goes quite wide. Terror on the switchback, he tries to defend through the S's and he comes out ahead, so good defense from Terror. He's not giving up that position.
Oh, and Sonny,
he wants to get these people.
I just looked at chat now and I saw Crystals, and look at Mozzie Gaming. P7.
Yeah, he's P7. That's why you need to keep your head down. I mean, he has 12 seconds, but everything can happen, and you need to keep your head down when he was in the last place. So it's definitely better for him. But also, like just to give some mentions, Beaumont managed to keep it clean, and he's in P6. Radim same in P5. So I remember them being in the back of the field quite some time ago. So definitely nothing lost for them. And we see Matthias, I think, will he try to go for a move on Wimpy? Because Wimpy goes for the inside and manages to make it stick. Mozzie goes quite slow and makes some contact with Matthias, but Matthias needs to clear Wimpy, to clear Mozzie if he wants to battle Wimpy, and goes quite wide. Let's see. Yeah, he's losing some time. Oh, Giannis up ahead, picks up the penalty. So I think Terror can feel safer now, because even if he loses this position on track, Giannis might not be able to run away, and Joel keeps pushing the fastest laps. This man is on fire.
Yeah,
I think he's driving so hot today that all of the water on track has just evaporated. And let's see what else is happening.
Iceboy going down the inside. Iceboy down the inside of his teammate. Futuristic, they make contacts. Iceboy keeps it going and gets that position. There's a big train going, or a big gaggle of cars, you could say, going from Wimpy to Futuristic now.
Yeah, and if you are Aceboy and Futuristic, you really want to bring some team order here, because Futuristic is on 12 seconds of penalties, so you really want to make room for Aceboy to let him chase the cars ahead.
Matthias trying to go around the outside of Mozzie now.
Yeah, and Matthias really needs to make it move. The move stick. Will Mozzie have the DRS? Mozzie still has DRS from Wimpy, so
he's out of DRS though.
Oh, and what we missed actually is that Giannis actually passed Terror.
What's going on?
And he is almost breaking the DRS. And in the back, Daddy Otis fighting Futuristic. There are some position changes. Aceboy comes out to have a tiled, so he is also pushing quite a lot.
Oh, Futuristic with a switchback.
Oh, they are still fighting.
Futuristic with a brilliant switchback, but Daddy Otis has the better run. And down the inside, Futuristic tries to go maybe around the outside. No, it's not gonna be possible now.
Yeah, I see so much going on.
He's in the wall.
Oh, no, Futuristic! Oh my god.
Oh my god, I could see that slowly happening as Daddy Otis hits the wall and is out of this race. That's a virtual safety car.
Oh, finally we get a breather because it was so much fighting everywhere on track. What we missed, Gurla, I was about to say that Janis actually pulled ahead of Terror and he's almost breaking the DRS from him. So Terror, he really needs to bring his best race pace possible to make sure that he secures that P2.
Yeah, I'm
And
not sure what happened to Terror. He seemed to lose pace all of a sudden.
I mean, on this track with the DRS, it's quite difficult to defend because the straights are quite long. So you really need to have some top straight line speed. So the setups are quite important because if people were preparing the wet setups, they might be regretting it now because they are losing some positions. So maybe that's the case for Terror, and maybe Janis was racing with the dry setup in the wet conditions. So maybe that's why he's faster. But we'll have to see if he manages. What's important now, he needs to manage to clear 3 seconds from Terror. And yeah, it seems like everything is stabilizing for now, but we still see a gaggle of cars from P8 to P12, so I still expect some fighting here.
Yes.
Oh, as we speak, Radim gets a 3-second penalty. Oh, Futuristic just spun. What happened there?
He's like he didn't go into any walls, but he cut a little bit of the corner and then he lost his rear and say his tires are really overheated now. Or he goes into the pit lane. As he almost spins in the pit lane, he's gonna need fresh tires. That was close. Meanwhile,
I think maybe we should bring the penalties on the screen right now, because it might be important at the end of the race with just 3 laps left. Bomon is actually closing up on Keyboard, and both Keyboard and Radim have 3-second penalties. So Bomon might be actually in P4 if he manages to follow Keyboard, or maybe even overtake him.
Mozzie getting around. Mozzie is around. Matthias went to the back.
Oh no, Mozzie!
No Ice Boy.
Any chances?
Going for a move on Matthias. Yeah, Mozzie's points chances are ruined, and Matthias also loses the position to Race Boy. Tyler trying to go around the outside as well. Not gonna get it this time. Oh.
Yes, it's we are not getting any chance to breathe Gurla today at the end.
Yeah, Mozzie with that. Really
meanwhile, Bomon actually overtook Keyboard, so Bomon now has to follow Radim, and still he has to push. And if you look at the tire freshness difference, it might also make the difference in the last few laps, because drivers like Bomon and Radim and Keyboard, they will have much more freedom to push than Terror and Janis, so maybe we'll see a change in the podium positions at the end.
Yeah, possibly, as Bowman and Radim try to catch up to Terror. Matthias trying to come back at Ice Boy after he got overtaken in the last lap. Talda is also now joined this train, which is now a small train, due to all the collisions that took people out
yeah,
of the
it's
train.
a small goggle. It's a small
of
goggle.
course.
Alright, and if you look at the front, the gaps are actually not stabilizing. The Janis is actually pulling really fast pace. I think maybe he was running on a dry setup, because look at the gap between Terror and Janis right now. And if you look at the gap to Joel, it's also closing. If Janis didn't have this penalty, he would still be fighting for the race win, but at least he has, I think it's safe to say that he has P2 secured, unless I'm gonna commentator curse him.
Yeah. Oh, you did!
Oh,
you did!
listen to that! No!
Oh my god!
No, my god, why did I do this?
You actually did!
I'm sorry, Janis!
Oh
No! Oh my god, commentator curse is real!
Oh no!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all gone wrong for Janis.
But Beaumont is less than 3 seconds behind Radim, so if he keeps up the pace, he can get the podium, and that would be the first for him. I'm not sure, but he really needs to push because Radim is in the DRS of Terror. So, and in the back, Matthias is still trying to push Aceboy. There is so much going on. I'm trying to follow everything.
Oh.
But Beaumont is actually closing on Radim. Let's see how they will manage to handle it on the straight. And Beaumont is losing the car, so he really needs to keep it alive. Oh my god, will we see Beaumont on the podium? And Radim actually going for the move on Terror. I think Terror is really struggling in the dry. Maybe it's the setup. He really prepared for the wet race, but safety cars really forced him to change the strategy. I mean, the lowered his pace. But Beaumont is hanging on.
Yeah.
Maybe the setups are big time paying off for now. So Beaumont just keep it on track, bring it home. Or maybe he's when Radim overtook Terror, I think Beaumont is outside of podium right now, so he's not close enough.
Yeah.
But he's closing on Terror, so. But we are starting the last lap, so we will see how it will turn out. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I think Joel's lead is quite safe. So is Radim's lead is not quite safe, but we'll see.
Yeah, Bowman needs to
I don't
push
want to
now.
commentator curse anyone.
Bowman needs to push if he wants to get that podium.
Yeah, Bowman needs to save like half a second there. Oh, show the penalties. Yeah, Gula,
Yep.
go ahead. And Matthias is still trying to push to overtake Aceboy. He's getting close in sector 1. So we'll have to see if he manages to do it on the straight with the DRS. I think it will be his last chance. Look how much battery he saved up. He has 40% on the last lap. So he's really preparing for this move, but so did Aceboy with 30. So they are going head to head. Aceboy does not want to give this position, and in the back there's Tilde. He also has quite a lot of battery, but Aceboy is pulling away. He had a really good exit, and I think he manages to save the ERS, which was quite important. Bowman is still not close enough, and Joel is about to cross the line.
Trying to go around the outside, he goes wide, trying to go around the outside of Aceboy.
Tilde is right behind him.
Yeah, in the lead we've got Joel making his way to the line. He almost spins, or is...
Oh, he's going through the final corner. Please don't do a Janice and don't hit the wall right now. Oh my god, he's scaring me so hard.
Trolling Joel as
Radim about to cross the line.
We'll lose the
Terror
position to
follow
Terror,
behind him.
and Bowman.
I don't think Bowman can get this. Bowman stays in P4, Wimpy follows in P5. Let's see how it will look like on the penalties. Keyboard P6. Oh, Aceboy jumps up to P5 provisionally, depending on how the FIA handles his penalty for the crash before. But yeah, for now, what an exciting ending! Oh my god!
Yeah.
What a wheel from Joel! What a dominant race! He was dominating throughout the whole race. Bowman almost pulled the gap. Look how close he was for scoring his first podium.
Really close.
So what an intense ending, and I think Terror almost losing out on this P2 because I think he was really prepared for the wet race. We will need to do the interview with the guys, but do you agree that driver of the day definitely goes to Terror for this comeback and the strategy call?
Definitely. He's had many drivers of the day awards, but
look at the qualifying results, and we had Terror from P16 on the quali to P2. We had Radim from P18 to P3. We had Bowman from P13 to P4, and Aceboy. Oh, what a race!
Well, I think maybe we could go with driver of the day to Radim, which is Radaios, I think. I mean, he also went from P18 to P3, and Terror has got...
Can we have a vote in the chat?
Yeah, please.
Can you have a vote in the chat? Guys, let us know who do you want to vote for the driver of the day. I think many of these drivers had really insane performance today, especially at the end in the dry conditions. And I also want to mention Wimpy. He managed to bring up P7 home, so it's still some points. What else do we see here? Beaumont driver of the day. Yeah, I think Beaumont also had some nice performance. I'm wondering, I need to watch back at the stream who was the first driver to pit for softs or for the slick tires, because whoever was it, he was a
I
genius.
think it was. I think I can see that here. No,
Who was the first one to
I
pit?
can't see when they pitted, but I think it was either Terror or George who pitted for mediums.
Yeah, it was George and Terror, so... Oh, Gula, can you show all the results or stream, or is it too late?
Oh, it's too late. Sorry.
I mean, we'll probably be able to see it on the screen when we are still in the race and not in the standing, so the intervals are still there, Danny. But let's jump into the Discord and maybe drag some people for the interview.
Yeah, let's see. We have here a lot of people. I think the first one we should bring is Joel, the winner.
Yeah, let's bring Joel, the race winner.
Can you bring him, please?
Hello, Joel.
Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, I just realised where I was. Hi.
Yeah, as a race winner, we thought it would be a nice idea to drag you first, and yeah, we would be thankful if you could walk us through the race, how you felt with the restarts.
So quali was just, well, it was good. Obviously, got pole, had a bit more in the lap, but anyway, I got pole, so I'm not going to complain at all. Also, in the so in the race, I had so obviously it was wets, inters, dries. On the wet, if it wasn't raining in the race, I'm pretty sure I would have maybe been P4 off the podium, even, to be honest, because I did not have the pace in the dry. I was surprised that that lap was pole, to be honest. So thankfully there was rain, and I found the pace in the S's pretty quick, like almost from lap 1. I noticed like a few, like in sector 1, I was gaining a lot in the early laps of the race on the guys behind, but as the race went on, it wasn't so much. They got used to how you can push through there and gain time. So I just kept my gap, got 2 warnings on the first lap, and then I got a penalty like mid-race, I think. And then Prey, I have to say thank you to Pretorius, because he was in voice chat. He was the one who told me to stay out under that safety car on the inters, which probably got me the win, to be honest. So thank you to Prey. Yeah, the restarts, the first one, I think that was when I went really late across the line, because I knew Janice was going to try and dive mob me into turn 1, so I didn't want to leave it too early. Also, the second one, I can't remember the second one, but the last one, when Matthias, I think it was, behind me, had an incident. I don't understand what happened there. I thought I hit him.
No, on the stream it looked like he got hit from behind, but we are not sure yet, so we'll have to let FI review.
Yeah, I think there was a collision between Aceboy and Matthias.
So that was my race, really. I think it was pole to flag, wasn't it? Apart from there's one. I think it was like lap 3 when Janice tried to move on me, but I managed to defend it.
I have another question. Were you not scared with these 3 seconds that you might not be able to pull the gap, or were you quite confident?
Not really, because I knew that I looked during the safety car and I saw that most of the guys behind me had 2 warnings, so I knew they weren't far away from a penalty as well. Especially in these conditions, even if you just get a snap of over or understeer, then you're going to go off track and you'll get a warning. So I wasn't too worried. Generally, my performance in Tier 3 hasn't been because of it being a bit slower than Tier 2. It's mainly been because I'm much more relaxed in these races. So I'm not worrying about stuff like I do in Tier 2. I have to get P10. I'm just relaxed and just driving, focusing on my driving, which is probably, if I do that in Tier 2, I could be in the points.
Yeah, we look forward to see more of you with performances like that. Do you think it's the track, or are you confident that you will carry on this pace to the next one?
Brazil isn't.
The next one is Mexico, I think.
Oh, it's Mexico, right? I hate Mexico. It's literally it's so boring, and I'm so slow. So I'll probably be like 10th or something. So, yeah, USA is a good track for me, but I only did like 20 laps of practice this afternoon, so
Well, it's still a lot, and
Yeah.
I mean, you can't complain about that one. I think.
not at all.
I think it was great performance from you. It was pleasure to watch. Gurla, anything to add?
I just have to say you scared us in the last lap when you seemed like you were about to crash on the last corner. You're just waving around.
Did I?
Yeah, I think the lap before, the second to last lap, I said, Janis is about to secure his P2, and he crashed into the wall on the left on the last corner, just as I said that. And then when I saw you cross the line, I said, hopefully Joel does not hit the wall here. And you turned left like you're about to hit it. And yeah, I got so scared.
On the final lap, on the final corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was weaving before the line, which is a bit stupid, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scared us a little bit. But yeah, congrats on your win. Good race from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats once again. Thank you, Joel, for coming by for the interview. And good luck onto the next one. We'll push you back in. Who do we have? Maybe Radaus, Radim.
Our second place, yeah. Bring him in. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Radaus. Are you here with us?
Hello, boys. Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So, P3 finish on the podium. Am I right? How do you feel about this race? Can you walk us through it?
It was quite a nice race. I moved up like 6 places from the start. Then I got hit from behind. I think it was Terror in the end of the lap 1. Then I go to P20. And from that, it was quite fine to the end. I have not wet, but dry setup, and it helps me in the last 10 laps to get to the podium.
Yeah, we noticed that in the end you were much quicker than Terror, and we were wondering if you can get away with the penalty you had. So it was the dry setup, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we were wondering if that's the thing. So yeah, in the end, from P18 to podium, something to be proud of.
First podium in SRL.
Oh, congrats! So
Thanks, guys.
it must have feel better now.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it.
Okay, yeah, it was pleasure to watch you at the last few laps, because we thought that it will be Joel and Terror battling it out at the end, but you managed to shove your way in, use the elbows, and secure the podium. I've also important because Beaumont was without the penalty, so he almost stole the podium from you as well.
Yeah, it was.
Were you worried about that at the end?
Yeah, I'm looking to the gap all the time if it is more than 3 seconds, and in the end it was.
Okay, perfect. So hopefully it wasn't too stressful. And Gura, anything to add?
No, just congrats on your first podium. It was a great drive from you. I think you didn't have any incidents. So in a race like that, that's really good. That's really what you have to do to be on the podium. And you did that. You did it everything correctly. So yeah, congrats on your race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Right. Congratulations once again, and see you next week, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rodias.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Okay, who are we taking next?
Well, now we have Mozzie, who almost got on the points and then had an incident with Matthias. We also have Wimpy, who I don't remember where he finished. Do you remember where Wimpy finished?
Wimpy finished P7, so Beaumont jumped in,
okay,
so
yeah.
let's drag him.
Let's drag
it. Hello, Beaumont.
Hello, guys. Good to see you in that squad.
Gurla, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, Beaumont, really great race from you. It's a shame that you couldn't get on the podium by just 3 tenths.
Oh man. Yeah, 3 tenths. I was the last 2 laps. I was wasn't watching the track. I was just watching the delta to who was that?
It was Radim.
It was Radim.
Oh yeah, right, Radim. So yeah, but I think I'm starting to like those changing conditions because last week in it was Japan.
Yep.
Did I remember correctly? Yeah. Oh, did we had rain in Japan? Actually, I don't remember now. Or maybe it was Russia.
No, I think you mean Russia, where you finished.
Yeah.
Where I think you finished P5 in Russia.
Yeah, P4,
P4 as well. Oh.
P4. Yeah. So and from P17 to P4, now from P13 to P4 again, and nearly P3. So yeah, that I think that plays into my hands because I'm really driving very carefully. I don't go for overtakes because pace-wise, I know I'm not the best here, but I know that I can just stay focused and just not crash, not get spins. So that's my strength, and I like to play that. And also driving clearly, so I don't get those penalties because again, another race without a single penalty for me. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah, really good. And you had a quiet race with no incidents and a good strategy. When you switched to softs, which gave you the P4. So I don't have any more questions unless Sonny has some more questions. Do you?
No, I think I'm good for now. Maybe Bomon, you could just let us know how do you feel about next track, Mexico.
I feel pretty much the same as with this one, so I like it very much. But I know pace-wise, again, I'm not the strongest there, so I'm expecting to be around P15 in quali, and then
anything can happen, right?
Try to get my way up to podium again.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
good luck for next race.
And thank you for stepping by.
Yep.
Thank you very much, guys.
We'll drag you back. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks.
Hey, shall we do one more? There's still Wimpy, Mozzie.
Yeah, we can do one more. Do you want to choose, or do you want to just bring him?
I will drag Wimpy maybe, and we'll call it a day afterwards. Hi Wimpy, are you here with us? Oh, Wimpy?
You there?
I can't. Oh, what's up, Wimpy? Are you up for the interview?
Do I have a choice?
I mean, it's up to you.
No, very good. What would you like to know?
Walk us through your race. We saw you. The qualifying was not bad for you. P5, but some issues early on, but still managed to finish in points. So I'm wondering how your went from your perspective.
Yeah, to be honest, I was targeting the front row with Joel. On my last qualifying lap, I was almost 2.5 tenths up, which should have put me right next to Joel on the front row, possibly even P1, maybe, I don't know. But I was targeting that second P2 next to Joel. And I made a huge mistake in the last corner, believe it or not. And yeah, I blew that. But
I think we saw it on stream, actually, where you were up 2 tenths and then the last corner didn't gain on time. So unfortunate.
Yeah, I made a huge mistake in the last corner. I just took too much curb and lost traction. But yeah, on the start with the rain, I didn't do one single lap practice on the rain. So yeah, I was just trying to go really easy and get used to the conditions and try to see the track in front of me. And yeah, then I got hit by keyboard from behind in the SS on the exit of the SS, and he spun me around. So I think I was very lost or something, and then I kept going, and I had an incident with someone that it was Kebab. Now I remember it was Kebab. I was trying to pass him the whole time, but he was so slow. He nearly parked it in the middle of the corners. So I slightly touched him, and I got yellow wing, and I took the gamble. Yeah, so I had to do a pit stop and go for inters and change wing. I lost about 10 seconds there. And then luckily lost safety car. And then myself and Tara, we said we're gonna gamble because by the time the safety car goes in, it should be drying up for wets. I mean for slicks. So we took the gamble, and yeah, I think it was just about I would almost say 80% the right call. Maybe a lap too early. But yeah, we were just praying for the safety car to stay out one more lap so we could get that dry conditions. But yeah, it was tough. But once the track dried out, I started to find my pace and made my way up the field. And then, yeah, right at the end, the keyboard, he actually gave me the position P4 or P5, whichever it was. I guess probably as a payback for what happened in turn one. But yeah, thanks to him, it really didn't change anything to the rest of my race there, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, glad to hear that you managed to recover your way and still score some points.
Yeah, that was
So-
the goal today.
Yeah, hopefully you were unlucky quite a few previous races, but even with this one, it looked like the deja vu from the previous ones. But I think you made some good strategy calls today. So
Yeah,
nothing
thanks to
close.
Jerome, my teammate. We went for the gamble. He went for softs, and I went for mediums. And yeah, it almost it worked for him perfectly, I would say, because he was a little bit further up the field, and I was held up by him as well. And
Oh
lost
yeah,
some positions,
yeah.
But we
Yeah,
had to
the
do
double
it.
stack.
If I waited like one more lap longer, then I guess everybody else would have put it as well, and then I would have scored some positions. So. But yeah, unfortunately for the 3-second penalty that I got, otherwise I would have taken P5, I think.
Yeah, looking at the screen, yeah, it would be P5 without the penalties.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was tough. It was really, really tough.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, driving in these changing conditions where you need to do 2 pit stops and you need to time them correctly, and even with the damage, it gets more and more difficult. So,
Yeah.
getting the strategy right.
And including 3 safety cars on the virtual.
Yeah, it
It
can
was
get
terrible. It
distracting.
was everything was just completely messed up. We had to think on the spot.
All right. Yeah, glad that you guys managed to make the good calls during the race. Gurla, anything to add here?
No, I just say, yeah, I also think you did the right strategy. Even if it was a double stack, I think it was the correct one. You were maybe hoping that it would dry up a little bit sooner than it did, but
Yeah, I was praying for the safety car to stay out at least one more lap.
yeah, I think it was.
So it didn't work.
I think it was. Actually, I think if Max didn't retire in the pits, he was still he was still back in the pits when you were in the SS. So if he didn't retire, maybe the safety car would go for one more lap. But yeah, so but it was a good recovery, anyways.
Yeah, thank you very much. I tried my best with the conditions.
All right. Thank you, Wimpy, for stepping by, or maybe for allowing us to drag you in.
Thank you for having me, man. I'll see you guys in Mexico then. And good luck to you guys tomorrow night in Tier 2.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll have a good show. Okay.
All right. Good luck,
Okay.
man.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
MP. Bye bye. Okay, Gurla. So
Yep. As
I think it's time to wrap it up. It was exciting race.
yeah, indeed, it was.
Anything to add?
No, I just have to say that in the end, Matthias didn't make that many positions on Motocrosser, so Motocrosser keeps the leads in quite safely going into the last few races. And yeah, we'll just have to see. Hopefully, Motocrosser can fix his connection issues he's been having for the past couple of races, and hopefully we can have a good fight for the championship.
Yeah, so on to the next week. Thank you everyone for watching. We still have some people staying tuned for the interviews. So, and about to see all of you next week, hopefully.
Yep. See you next week. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We have Tier 2, and then Saturday, Sunday, we still have more races in Tier 1 and 2 SRL, Tier 2 and 1. So, yep, hopefully see you there. And that's goodbye from us. Goodbye, Sonny.
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.